In 1967, a CIA reconnaissance satellite photographed a stretch of farmland west of Baghdad. Nobody paid attention. The images sat in a classified archive for decades. But when an Italian research team fed those old photographs into an artificial intelligence system in 2024, the AI flagged something the analysts had missed: ancient cities. Entire settlements that modern development has since erased from the face of the earth. That discovery is one of 7 from the last 2 years that we are going to walk through today, each one stranger than the last. We have 7 discoveries ahead of us, 7 different parts of the world, each one backed by peer-reviewed research, and each one contradicting something the textbooks said was settled. We are starting with those CIA satellites, and we are ending with something the Egyptians built that engineers today still cannot fully explain. This is number 1. Number 1. The cities that only a spy satellite remembers. In the early 1960s, the United States launched a fleet of Corona reconnaissance satellites over the Soviet Union, China, and the Middle East. Their job was espionage. Along the way, they photographed millions of square miles of terrain in extraordinary detail, including the farmland and river plains of central Iraq. Those photographs were declassified in 1995 and mostly forgotten. But in 2024, a team at the University of Bologna led by Anastasia Pistola and Niccolo Marchetti tried something nobody had attempted before. They retrained a deep learning AI model on corona imagery of the Abu Ghraib district west of Baghdad, teaching it to recognize the faint circular and rectangular outlines of ancient settlement mounds. The results were staggering. The AI flagged 96 candidate sites. 81 of them turned out to be real when the team checked them on the ground in January 2024. 4 of those sites had never been documented by any archaeologist in any publication, in any language, ever. Here is the part that makes this discovery so urgent. When the team compared the 1960s satellite photos to modern Google Earth imagery, the sites had vanished completely. Decades of urban sprawl and industrial farming had bulldozed them off the surface of the planet. The only reason we know they existed at all is because a Cold War spy camera happened to capture them 60 years ago, and an artificial intelligence noticed what human eyes had missed. The full study was published in PLOS One in 2025. The AI model used a convolutional neural network retrained specifically on the visual signatures of archaeological tells, those distinctive circular mounds that form when mud brick settlements collapse and rebuild over centuries. On the old Corona film, these tells showed up as faint discolorations and shadow patterns. On modern imagery, they are parking lots and irrigation canals. The uncomfortable question this raises is simple. The Abu Ghraib district is one small area west of Baghdad. Iraq alone has an estimated 250,000 archaeological sites. How many other ancient cities have already been erased without anyone noticing? But the next discovery suggests the answer might be far larger than we think. Number 2. The jungle that hid a civilization under 2% of a scan. In December 2025, a team from the Instituto Metropolitano de Patrimonio in Quito, Ecuador, pointed a LiDAR scanner at the Andean Choco cloud forest in the San Francisco de Pachijal commune. The area is dense, remote, and sits at high elevation. A century of archaeological work in the broader region had documented roughly 40 mounds and 10 terraces. The LiDAR scan covered about 600 hectares. In that single pass, it revealed over 200 mounds and more than 100 terraces, 5 times more structures than a century of fieldwork had ever found. The features include both circular and rectangular forms, connected by a network of roadways that suggest deliberate urban planning. Some of the mounds are clustered in patterns that indicate communal gathering spaces. Others sit in isolation, surrounded by terrace systems that look like organized agricultural production zones. Archaeologist Juan Gijon described the structures as evidence of sophisticated spatial organization connected to the social, productive, and ceremonial dynamics of pre-Hispanic societies. The roadways alone tell a story of coordination across considerable distances. These were not scattered villages. This was infrastructure. But here is the detail that should keep every archaeologist awake at night. The area they scanned represents roughly 2% of the Chaco Andino's total 280,000 hectares. If the same density of structures holds across the remaining 98%, we are looking at thousands of undiscovered sites belonging to a civilization whose builders we cannot even name. And while that unknown civilization hid under a jungle canopy, the next discovery rewrites an entire continent's history. Number 3. The settlement that was there 1,400 years before anyone was supposed to arrive. For as long as modern archaeology has existed, the standard narrative for North Africa has been straightforward. Before the Phoenicians sailed in from what is now Lebanon around 800 BCE, there was nothing. No permanent settlements, no organized agriculture, no architecture worth mentioning. In 2025, a study published in the journal Antiquity destroyed that narrative entirely. At a site called Kach Koch in northwest Morocco, near the city of Tetuan, a team led by Hamza Benatia Melgarejo from the University of Barcelona uncovered a multi-phase settlement. The earliest occupation layer dates to between 2,200 and 2000 BCE. That is over 1,400 years before the Phoenicians ever set foot in the Maghreb. The second phase, dating to roughly 1300 to 900 BCE, contained mud brick buildings, rock-cut storage silos, grinding stones, and clear evidence of an established agricultural community. These were not nomads passing through. These were people who built permanent structures, stored grain, and farmed the land for generations. Then came the third phase, dating to 800 to 600 BCE, when Phoenician cultural influence finally appeared. But instead of replacing what came before, it blended with the existing local traditions. The archaeological record shows continuity, not conquest. The people at Kach Koch were not colonized. They were already there, already organized, and they adapted on their own terms. The implication is difficult to overstate. An organized farming society with permanent architecture existed in North Africa more than a millennium before Carthage was even founded. And we only found it in 2025. But the next discovery makes Kach Koch look like a footnote. In Jerusalem, physicists just proved they can see through solid rock using particles from outer space. Number 4. The invisible particles scanning beneath the Holy City. In the summer of 2025, a team from Tel Aviv University did something that had never been done at any archaeological site in Jerusalem. They lowered a custom-built detector into a rock-hewn installation known as Jeremiah's Cistern in the city of David. The cistern drops roughly 6 meters through a narrow shaft into a bell-shaped chamber carved directly into the bedrock. The detector was not looking for artifacts. It was looking for muons, subatomic particles generated when cosmic rays from deep space slam into Earth's atmosphere. Muons pass through solid rock, but they slow down and scatter differently depending on the density of what they encounter. By measuring how muons behaved as they passed through the rock above, the team could map structural anomalies underground without digging a single centimeter. The project was led by Professor Erez Etzion from the School of Physics and Astronomy and Professor Oded Lipschitz from the Department of Archaeology. The results, published in the Journal of Applied Physics in August 2025, confirmed that the technique works in a real archaeological environment. They successfully identified subsurface features through meters of solid limestone. Lipschitz explained that the ancient underground spaces beneath Jerusalem resemble Swiss cheese beneath the rock. Tunnels, cisterns, chambers, and passages from thousands of years of continuous habitation remain largely unmapped. The team is now planning a second campaign at the Gihon Spring to scan deeper and wider beneath the old city. This is the same technology that revealed the hidden corridor inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. Applying it beneath one of the most contested and deeply layered cities on Earth opens a chapter that could fundamentally alter what we know about ancient Jerusalem. The city of David alone has been continuously inhabited for over 5,000 years. Layer upon layer of construction, destruction, and reconstruction sits beneath the modern streets. Entire neighborhoods from the First Temple period could be down there, sealed behind bedrock walls that no excavation team can reach without demolishing what sits above. For the first time, we may have a way to see it all without breaking the surface. We are now past the halfway point. If you are finding these discoveries as surprising as we did when we researched them, hit like and subscribe. We cover finds like these every week. Now, 4 down, 3 to go. And the next one involves a population that vanished so completely that even their DNA leads nowhere. Number 5. The people with no ancestors and no descendants. In May 2025, a study published in Science Advances presented the first ancient human genomes ever recovered from Colombia. A team led by Kim Louise Kretek at the University of Tübingen extracted DNA from 21 individuals at 5 archaeological sites on the Bogotá Altiplano, spanning a period of roughly 6,000 years. 7 of those genomes came from the Chekua site, dating to approximately 4000 BCE, and the results made no sense. These hunter-gatherers did not match any known ancient population in North or South America. Their genetic signature was completely unique. They were not descended from any previously identified lineage, and they did not contribute DNA to any population that came after them. By 2,000 years ago, their genetic signal had vanished entirely. A different population, one arriving from Central America carrying Chibchan languages and ceramics, had replaced them completely. Kretek stated it plainly. We could not find descendants of these early hunter-gatherers. The genes were not passed on. There was a complete exchange of the population. Complete population replacement is extremely rare in South America, where genetic continuity, stretching back thousands of years, is the norm. Something happened on the Bogotá Altiplano that erased an entire people. We do not know what. We do not know why. The incoming Chibchan populations did not carry weapons technology that would suggest a violent takeover. There is no evidence of warfare at the sites. The replacement appears to have been total, but it left no scars in the archaeological record. Christina Werner of Harvard University, who reviewed the study, called the findings striking. An entire founding lineage of South America wiped clean from the genetic map. And now that we have the DNA, the mystery has only deepened. But if the idea of a vanishing people sounds strange, the next discovery might be stranger, because it suggests that one of history's greatest empires was built entirely by people who were never part of it. Number 6. The empire that conquered without colonists. Everything we were taught about the Phoenicians follows the same story. Sailors from the coast of what is now Lebanon fanned out across the Mediterranean, founding colonies from Carthage to Spain to Sardinia. They brought their language, their gods, their alphabet. They were the ancient world's great colonizers. In April 2025, a study published in Nature pulled the rug out from under that narrative. A team led by Harold Ringbauer at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology analyzed DNA from approximately 200 individuals buried at 14 Phoenician archaeological sites across the Mediterranean. The Western settlements, including Carthage, Sardinia, and Ibiza, showed virtually zero Levantine or Middle Eastern ancestry. The people buried in Phoenician graves, with Phoenician inscriptions, following Phoenician burial customs, were genetically indistinguishable from local Greeks and Sicilians. After 500 BCE, North African ancestry increased significantly in these populations. But Levantine DNA never appeared. Not early, not late, not ever. Ringbauer posed a question that no textbook has an answer for. Was Phoenician culture like a franchise that others could adopt? The data suggests that diverse Mediterranean peoples voluntarily took on a foreign identity, language, religion, and set of trade customs without any genetic replacement whatsoever. No colonists, no migration, just an idea so compelling that entire populations adopted it as their own. Think about what that means. Carthage, the civilization that fought Rome for control of the Western Mediterranean, the empire of Hannibal, may not have been founded by Phoenician sailors at all. It may have been founded by local North Africans and European settlers who simply decided to call themselves Phoenician. The full study involved roughly 70 co-authors from institutions including Harvard, Brown University, and Reichman University, and the implications go far beyond the Phoenicians. If one of antiquity's most famous expansions happened without moving people, how many other ancient migrations were actually cultural transmissions? We have one discovery left, and this one does not involve a mystery we cannot solve. It involves a solution we are only now beginning to understand. Number 7. The water-powered machine inside Egypt's first pyramid. The step pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, built around 2680 BCE, is the oldest monumental stone structure in the world. For over a century, the question of how its builders lifted massive limestone blocks to the upper tiers has been answered with ramps, rollers, and human muscle. In August 2024, a study published in PLOS One proposed a radically different answer. A team led by Xavier Landreau of the CEA Paléotechnique Institute in France, working alongside hydraulic engineer Guillaume Piton from INRAE, re-examined the structures surrounding the pyramid that previous researchers had never been able to explain. The nearby Geyser El Mudir enclosure, long a puzzle, was re-identified as a check dam designed to capture seasonal floodwater from the Abusir Wadi. A 400-meter-long, 27-meter-deep rock-cut feature, known as the Deep Trench, was reinterpreted as a water treatment facility with built-in sedimentation compartments, and a network of underground conduits stretching roughly 7 kilometers beneath the pyramid complex was mapped as the distribution system. The hypothesis is that water filled a central shaft inside the pyramid, where a float carrying approximately 100 tons of stone could be raised and lowered. Granite blocks found at the base of the internal shafts, previously interpreted as part of Djoser's sarcophagus, were re-identified as hydraulic valves. The system would have worked like a lock on a canal. Fill the chamber, the stone rises. Drain it, the stone descends. Repeat until you have reached the desired height. The team even used Unreal Engine to build three-dimensional renderings of the system in operation. Not every Egyptologist is convinced. Some argue that the water supply in the area could not have been sufficient. But the team's geological analysis of the Wadi system suggests otherwise. If confirmed, Egypt's first pyramid was constructed using technology comparable to a canal lock, built 4,700 years ago. We started today with cities that only a SPY satellite remembers. We ended with a machine that may have built the first pyramid. In between, we crossed 6 continents, found a civilization hiding under 2% of a jungle, watched a continent's history get rewritten by a single dig in Morocco, saw cosmic rays scan through the bedrock of Jerusalem, traced a population that vanished without a genetic trace, and learned that one of history's greatest empires may have been a franchise, not a conquest. 7 discoveries, 7 parts of the world, and every single one of them published in the last 2 years. If you want to see one of these turned into a full-length documentary, drop the number in the comments. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the time. We will see you in the next one.